to y'all to summer staycation. This question here: what adventure are you looking forward to taking this summer? I'm going to talk about like the seasons and how the cycle of the seasons and what the particular themes is on that. But this particular circle is really built around the summer vacation, the ways that we've been conditioned, even through like how our school is scheduled, to work through fall, winter, and spring, and then take the summer off. It's like, okay, I gotta take it off. And like it started as, you know, having to work during the summer, but now it's like really about like how can I find my greatest adventure and or greatest escape? And so that question is a little bit of sweetness, like thinking about what adventure are you looking forward to? Is there something in these next, summer months, this July, August, and part of September, that you're looking forward to doing? Somewhere you're looking forward to going? A trip, an outing, a getaway? What are you looking forward to? And you can throw those over in the chat. Oh, you got hands for these. Okay, so I'll take these hands, but I also want to make sure that we're on our process circle time. So just make sure that you keep your shares as short as you can, if you can. Thank you very much. We have Wade, Cindy, Cece, and Loretta. We'll take those as our four shares for
Well,
this one.
I wasn't
Go ahead,
sure if
Wade.
you didn't how you wanted to handle this, so I'll
Oh no,
make it
it's all
short.
good. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Heading to Washington, D.C. next Monday. My 60th birthday is on July 8th, and I'm going to
Hey,
be
happy birthday.
heading, yeah, thank you, Washington, D.C. and Virginia. And I'm meeting three absolutely wonderful people out there to spend time with them that week. I just can't wait. I'm really excited, really excited.
Yes, I can hear the excitement.
Yeah, big time. It's like, yes.
Thank you, Wade. All right, Cindy.
I am going to Chicago on the 18th, and me and my girlfriend are driving to Stark Rock, and we are spending 2 nights camping in a tent
Ooh,
on a blow up mattress. We got the sticks, we got everything. We're going to go hiking, and so I'm so excited to be going camping.
yes, yes. Love camping. Love camping. Thank you. Thank you, Cindy. Go ahead, Cece.
Oh, is my mic already on? I'm sorry if I was interrupting anything. I didn't know that.
No, you were.
Um,
You're good.
so I am going to a concert, an outdoor concert this weekend. I'm really excited,
Mm,
and I've been looking into other concerts, I guess within like a few hour radius. So hopefully I'll be doing a bunch of concerts this summer. I'm really excited because I
oh,
haven't done that in a really long time.
yes, the concert tour. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you, Cece. And Loretta.
Hey there. Yeah, I'm going to Asheville. I just booked my flight today and I had like a voucher from last year and then they gave me another voucher. So I could go to Asheville again if I wanted to. I just wanted to share that.
Ooh, okay. You over here getting vouchers for trips and stuff. You gotta go ahead and sprinkle some of that luck over this way. For real, for real. What's going on? All right. So that adventure, that's the sweetness that we start with. Is we some a lot of us have fond memories of these summer vacations. Some of us don't because some of us got sent to summer camps and those things were horrible. For some people, we went on outings, we went on trips. Sometimes we didn't get to go anywhere, and so we had to feel the angst of that. Sometimes even we go back to our childhood memories, and it's like, okay, we got to hang around with friends, or we got to go do those kinds of adventurings. I'm looking forward to going to the arcade every single day, as long as I have tokens too, and all these other things. All of this stuff that's just about adventuring. And so this particular circle, summer staycation, is all about, like I said, the vacation. But a lot of the vacation is built on something, and I'm gonna get into that after a couple of things that I put over in the chat. So first thing, just thinking about our summer, the summer season. Have these over in the chat. I just put the four seasons there and the themes that seem to come up for each one of them. So starting with this one, this particular one is about gather and gamble. So the summer It's about like gathering all of your resources, gathering all of your tools, gathering up with your friends or your adventure party, as it were, and gambling on, all right, we're going to go and do something. We're going to go do something we haven't tried before. We're going to go and find something that nobody's ever found before. We're going to go and explore a whole bunch of different things in a longer way. And then not in a way that the spring is exploring, we're exploring what's near us and re-emerging from the darkness to reintroduce ourselves to the world around us. The summer is, oh, I'm going outside of the quote unquote comfort zone. I have this limit, and now I'm going beyond my limits, and I need all of my resources, all of my tools, all of my friends to do so. And then you have your harnest and harvest. After that, rest and release, emerge and explore. But this summer of gather and gamble, this is the time, not just in season, but also in our own rhythms. We have rhythms where we have a whole lot of extra capacity. Our environment is primed for us to explore into. We have a way to do more and go farther than we have before. And so to orient ourselves just to the seasons in our bodies, because this is what summer staycation is about, is really getting back in tune with our bodies. I'm going to bring us into a breath process for 2 minutes. This particular process circle is going to feature us stopping 3 times for 2 minutes and get into a process to get back into and reacquainted with our bodies so that no matter if we go somewhere, we're still staying with ourselves. And that's where the staycation comes in. It's for those of us that aren't going to be able to go anywhere physically, but can still stay with ourselves. Or if we're going somewhere, we still stay with ourselves. So I'm going to have everybody go ahead and find yourself and your body in a nice little comfortable position for you and your body. Check in with your body to see if it wants to stand, sit, or lay down during these 2 minutes. And yes, the 2 minutes can be quote unquote short, but if your body says, I want to lay down, let it lay down. This is the opportunity for the body to do what it wants to do. So, standing, sitting, laying down, once you get there, go ahead and get into your breath. Find your breath. Bring your awareness to all the components of your breath: the speed, the temperature, the depth, the sound. And as you're paying attention to that breath, you're just noticing all of the components of it. Bringing yourself to your breath brings you to the present. You don't breathe in the past or the future. You breathe right here, right now. So bringing your awareness to your breath brings you closer to the present. Now, as you're there, I'm going to have you deepen and slow that breath. So you'll have a deep, slow in and a slow out breath. Deep in to the edge of your capacity at the bottom, slow out to the edge of your capacity at the top. And now, as you're doing that, you're finding yourself a nice little rhythm that you can breathe slowly in to the edge and then slowly out to the edge without having to speed up your breath, catch your breath, or gasp for air. Now, if you notice, if you're doing that breath, long, slow, deep in breath and a long, slow out breath, you're breathing kind of like in an oval shape. You have slight pauses at the top and the bottom as you transition from in to out. And I'm going to have you take those transitional places and put pauses there. So you're going to breathe slow and deep in, pause at the bottom, slow out, pause at the top. And again, find yourself a nice rhythm where you can breathe in, pause, and out, pause without having to catch your breath or gasp for air. I'm going to see about getting us into a kind of a synchronous breath where I'm going to have everybody just go ahead and breathe all the way out right now. And now breathe in, pause, out, pause, in, pause, out, pause. Now, as you're in that particular cycle, in, pause, out, pause, we're going to put seasons for each one of those sections of breath. As you're breathing in, that's your spring. You're bringing breath into you, the life is flowing in, and you're getting resourced. So your in breath is your spring. The pause that you do at the end of your in breath is your summer. You are filled to the brim with resource. There's still, you know, oxygen and other things to take out of the breath that you brought in, and waste to put in. Fully expanded, full capacity. And then as you breathe out, that's your fall. You're losing the opportunity to take resource. You're losing even the waste that you're putting out. The breathing out is your fall. And then the pause after your out breath is your winter. You don't have a whole lot of wiggle room in terms of resource that you're getting from breath. Your lungs are all the way out. You're kind of collapsed. And so there's not a whole lot of big, gigantic movements or long ways that you can do in this winter time. You want to honor the resource and honor your capacity of that resource. So in spring, pause summer, out fall, pause winter. Giving your body a full experience of the cycle. And through us learning that cycle, we can start to notice those cycles, those intellectual cycles, those concept cycles, relationship cycles, etc. But we start with our bodies. Right, so for your last few breaths, I want you to really focus in on what your full body does with that breath. As you're breathing, do you clench your shoulders because you're trying to pull in breath? Do you squeeze your torso when you're breathing out? Do your toes curl in any part of your breath? Noticing any body sensations, any body participation in your in and out breaths. Right, and going through your last cycle. And on your last out breath, go ahead and shake your body as an indication that that process is over. So with that as our foundation, I put over in the chat this next little section. What is the summer vacation and the summer break? So first, the foundation of school breaks. You know, our summers, for a lot of us, especially in America, we have this particular school rhythm. And so the foundation of summer vacation is on school breaks. You know, it started off as a break from learning for working farms or working outdoors. It's like the summer is the optimal time to be working outside. So we take a break from learning to go and do that. And so that has a whole lot of us at the foundation of what our summers are made of. And then later on, it became like a break from the work of learning. So school was the thing that we were taking a break from for play of not working. And so it's like if I'm learning, I'm putting in a whole lot of work. And since I don't have to work a farm over the summer or work outside over the summer, now it's like, whoo, work is over. I get to play now. It's almost like the summer is the weekend of school. So then looking at the summer vacation, we had people talk about, trips, camping or camps, some outings. But with the summer vacation, what I've noticed a lot when it comes to summer vacation, especially for my own or when I'm hearing what other people are saying about their vacations, they're either escaping their life or chasing their self. It's one of those things where it's like I have so many obligations and responsibilities and pressures in my everyday life and my everyday self that I need to escape that. I can't wait to go do X. And we can have our attention focused on this like cool motivation for it. Oh, it's going to be really exciting to do this. But then we can have a whole lot more motivation from, damn, I can't wait to get out of this job for a few days. Oh, or if I can just not have to take out the trash for another week, that would be great. But all of these things in our life that we want to get away from. And then the capturing self is there's things that I don't get to do when I'm in my everyday life. I don't get to, explore my curiosity. I don't get to laugh as loud. I don't get to have that much fun. All of these other things that are like we're trying to recapture yourself. And so I get to do those things on my vacation. So I'm really looking forward to going and experiencing a part of myself that I don't get to experience in my own life. Okay, I'm gonna pause right there. I'm gonna check in with Denard. What's going on with you, man?
With me,
Mm-hmm.
uh, I guess I got to take you on my process from slavery to where we're at right now.
Yeah.
Uh, when I think you took me back to the summer. So my first experience of summer was the summer bridge programs, and it was a moment. Parents didn't have anything to do with us, so to keep us out of trouble. And it took me to my first experience of like learning how to swim frantically, and so in my first breath when you told me to hold it, it took me there where like I was
Mm-hmm.
asked to jump off like a 12-foot diving board, and I didn't know how to swim. Right, and basically I came up for air, but I actually also learned how to swim. And then in terms of the activity, in terms of reflecting adventure wise, it was a somber thing. Like it was funny, you went June, July, August. You were going through the months. I was like, I ain't got nothing I actually have planned or I'm looking forward to do. I actually thought in my head to like, oh, like the kids, something that they were going to do, but still wasn't for me. And then I transitioned to something that I've also been, you use the word gamble, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like something that it's something that I know it's at the brink of me experiencing new or what Loretta put in the chat, difficult and different. Um, I've been pushed to go skydiving for quite some time, but
Mm-hmm.
my difficulty is pushing myself to go versus getting pushed off the plane,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I find myself like in an honest space saying that, like, what are you waiting for in that space? So that's where I landed, and that's where I'm at right now.
Yeah. Yeah. That swim story, for those of y'all that don't know or remember, I used to teach swimming to adults that are scared of the water, and many of the
Oh
stories, one
wow.
of the things that we did with folks at the very beginning was have them tell their swimming story, their water story. And you sharing that, it's like it so tracks with so many folks from our
Yep.
generation that where it's
Yep.
like how you were taught to swim was, oh, you survive.
Yep.
And that that isn't necessarily the best when it comes to how to learn how to be with a whole element, with water, fire, earth, air, like to be with a particular element. Survive is not necessarily the best way to learn
Correct.
really about like and stay with yourself. Because that was the main
Yeah.
thing about that thing was being able to stay with
Yeah.
yourself while being in relationship with this particular element.
Yeah.
And it
And
sounds
but
like
that's
you're
also
having
how
that with
we
like water and
correct.
air with the skydive suit.
Yes. Yes. But that's also how I've learned how to survive through life,
Mm-hmm.
right? Hold my breath, right? Trust something's gonna catch me
Right.
and but never staying with self. And it's just now I'm learning how to stay with self.
Mhm. Yeah. Thank you, Denard.
Thanks for asking, bro.
Most definitely. All right. So as we're looking at that, we're looking at the escaping your life and chasing yourself. That's just like I was saying with the stay part of staycation. It's, can I be with myself? Can I stay with myself even as overwhelm shows up, even as uncertainty shows up, even as I start to get up to and cross over the edge of my capacity, my energy, my capability, my skills and talents? Can I still stay with me? And so I'm going to put over in the chat, and y'all have seen this in so many different iterations. I give it to folks that have been on for a while. I give it to new folks that show up. But this body attuning practice, the 3-2-1, instead of putting a tile there, I just go ahead and put it in text form so y'all could just see it. That body attuning practice, being able to tune back into your body, just like I was saying with the breath, being present is a way to practice staying. And I want to say that again, practice staying. Practice is one of those things we're trying and we're doing over and over again, and we're trying over and over again, and not getting on ourselves for not quote unquote doing it right, for doing it quote unquote long enough, etc. It's, I have learned a whole lifetime of dissociation in one way or another. I have to practice reassociating with myself, starting with my body. And so again, we're going to get back into a breath and body practice, but this time we're going to get our bodies involved. And I'm going to ask you a couple of questions. These questions are in a couple of pockets, and I'll put those questions at the end so you don't get bogged down with those questions right now. I don't want your mind too cluttered. I want it to be able to pay attention to what's going on in your body. But I'll give you those questions afterwards so you can take those with you, use those as you journal, use those as you practice and process at later times. So, again, before getting into our practice, we check in with our bodies again because it might be different. The last time your body wanted to lay down, this time it wants to stand up. It's like, dang, I almost went to sleep. I think I want to stand up this time, or whatever the conversation is. Check in with your body cues. If you're revving high, you might want to stand. If you're revving low, you might want to lay down. If your body's not telling you outright where it wants to be. When your body gets to the place it wants to be, standing, sitting, or laying down, find that breath again. Don't change it, just find it. The speed, the depth, the temperature, the sound. Now, again, I'm going to have you deepen and slow that breath. And now I'm going to have you add those pauses to the ends of your breath. So you're breathing a deep, slow in with a pause, and then a slow out and another pause. Finding a great rhythm so you don't have to speed up your breath, catch up to your breath, or gasp for air. From this place, that one prompt that I have there, talk about that 3 pauses, 2 minutes, one prompt. The prompt for this one is a full body stretch. So as you're in that pausing breath, deep, slow in, pause, slow out, pause, start to initiate a body stretch. Start at your spine. And just start to slowly stretch your spine, pushing it to the side, pushing it forward and backward, waving it like a snake or a worm, doing that stretch slowly so that you can notice all the things that are going on as you're stretching. You might feel some tension getting more tense. You might feel some tension releasing. You might notice some cracks and pops that happen. You have your mic unmuted. Could I have you mute, please? Thank you. So we're having that slow, deep in, pause, slow out, pause, breath. And we've started stretching our body through our spine first, and then have it envelop your full torso, chest, back, and belly. Still slowly, almost like you're moving in molasses, so that you can just tune into all the body sensations that are happening as you stretch. And going out to your arms and your legs and your neck, and following that stretch all the way out to your hands, your head, and your feet. Still staying with that pausing breath. Don't lose that. That's going to keep you present. All of those body sensations are going to want to take you away from the present and try to tell you something about what's happening with your body. Just stay present with that. And as you're doing that stretch, full body, continue doing that, continue staying with your breath. I'm going to ask you a couple of questions, and I just want you to be with how your body and the rest of you responds to the question. When you go away for your vacation, or just when you go away, what do you not have to do? What do you not have to do at work? What do you not have to do at home? What do you not have to do with any relationship people that you have around you that you're going away from? When taking a trip, when going away on vacation, when going away on holiday, what do you not have to do? What are you so happy to not have to do? What are you relieved to not have to do when you go away? If a response comes to you, or even a group of responses come to you, just paying attention to those and breathing them in, pausing with them, and then breathing them out and pausing with that. All right. And then the next question, this will be the final question, just the two. What do you get to do when you go away? So when you're going away, you get to activate a part of you that you don't get to have at home, at work, in your other relationships. So what do you get to do when you go on vacation, when you go on a trip, when you go away, when you go on holiday? What do you get to do? What emotions are allowed to be? What choices and options open up for you? What does your body get to do when you go away? And that pausing breath, being with those responses that show up in you. Your body might even try to move itself into position of a thing that it gets to do or a thing that it's happy that it doesn't have to do. All right, taking another 20 seconds just to be with that. What do you not have to do when you go away? What do you get to do when you go away? Right. So, on your last cycle of breath, in pause, out pause, on that last out, go ahead and give your body a nice full body shake as you shake out everything that you stretched. So, if you have those answers, go ahead and throw those over in the chat. I say a couple of them: breathe, sleep, fly like the wind, don't have to do laundry, get to enjoy time with people. What came up for you, Dinar?
Oh, two things, man. Don't have to think, and
Mm,
man, that was beautiful that you asked that question. That's what came up immediately. And then what I get to do is interesting. And you said going away, I get to stay by reflecting. And it got churchy in that moment. I was laughing to myself because I'm like, when you said take it out, I was just grateful, man. Like just being brought a mighty long way. So, in that sense, it's interesting. My full circle moment where I'm going away so that I can stay, like so I can reflect properly, so
mhm.
I can the silence becomes something boisterous for me. But that's really what it came up for me, man. That I don't have to think. I just get to reflect and see what reveals itself to me as I'm reflecting.
Man, and those it's interesting that those two things are like on the opposite sides of the same coin, especially the not
Mm.
thinking part, because it just like that brings up so much of how much we have to think even to navigate uh the life that we live. You know, what
Yeah.
can I say to this person in front of me? What can I do and get away with over here? What do I
Hmm.
have to hide so I don't receive the consequences over here? I have to be calculating all the time when it comes to
Yep.
work and home and social relationships.
Mercy.
It's like, dang, can I just go away and just be? Can I just act?
Yeah.
Can I just be impulsive? Can I just do dumb shit? Like what? And
Yeah.
without having to live with the consequence in my life. I'm going away to do that over there so I don't have to live with it over here.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good. That's good. That's good. That feels like freedom. But it
Mm.
also is interesting. Last thing I share here, man. I was listening to, man, that's so deep what you shared. Like two sides of the same coin. And it's really because of the busyness of life, we don't get to be still. And it's like I just did a room on walking on eggshells, and I'm thinking about like, man, I've been walking on eggshells in my own life.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
it's so crazy. It's so crazy. It's so crazy. But Jason Reynolds was talking about caregiving for his mom, and 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 basically the lady asked him what does a prayer feel like. And bro, I think you'll like this in so many different ways. His mom is 80 plus, and so she's at a point where he's now positioned to be a caregiver, and so he's forced to stay. That's what I'm trying to say, but
Mm.
it's not a forced stay. He says, now I get a chance to give to someone that gave all of who I am. And so I get to give back to her dignity because, of course, he has to clean her, and do things. And he said, this is when I started to understand, in essence, staying is a form of prayer, right? Where
Mm.
I get to restore dignity, I get to restore humanity. And when you share that, that's that. Now that I'm reflecting that as you talk, I think about like how many times do we stay with ourselves and realize that that's a form of prayer. That you really get to be in tune with your body. You really get to not be thrown by the wind, or when you do choose to be thrown by the wind, you it feels like freedom,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right? Man, that was deep. Like it's yeah.
Oh
Thanks
yeah.
for allowing me to reflect, man.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Most definitely. And it's like even with what you're saying, the acceptance of the limitation of what is right here allows me to be free within it.
Yes. All right, I'll turn my mic off. You trying to get me started? Oh Jesus! Oh my goodness!
Thanks, Denard. Oh, so we're sitting here with our the things that we don't have to do. I love the laundry one. The laundry one is fucking fantastic. And then we have Carly over here. I'm not going to say that one out loud, but somebody said that. But we have all of these. I don't have to do these things when we go away, and then I have these. I get to do these things when I go away, and the whole point that I want to make with this summer staycation is how do we stay? We want to go away and get things, and this is like something that I even feel a little bit more affinity to because of all of the workshops and immersive, transformational conferences and all kinds of things that I went to, and trying to take the things that I got to do there and live in the spirit of the things that I didn't have to do over there and bring them back into my life. Like, how do I bring these things back? How do I bring that treasure that I went on this adventure to go and get back into my life? And so we're going to go back into ourselves to ask ourselves that question. This time, I don't have to do a whole lot of prep because you've gotten a couple of things. You've gotten the breath, and then you've gotten this little acquaintance with your body. So this time, I'm going to check in again with y'all and have y'all check your bodies. Standing, sitting, or laying down for this last process. Check in with that body. It's like, okay, I tried standing, I tried laying down. Let me go ahead and sit, see how this part works, or anything else that your body says, and you just follow. When your body gets to that place, find your breath. Once you're with your breath for a couple of moments, get into that pausing breath. Slow deep in, pause, slow out, pause. So as you're with your breath, you're in that pausing breath. You have that in spring, pause summer, out fall, pause winter. This time, the prompt, instead of just being a full body stretch, this time it's going to be a full body touch. You're going to use your hands and use your body to touch your body. And it's just going to be a basic general massage, full body, head to toe to head, right to left to right, front to back to front, just making sure that you touch every part of the surface area of your body that you can reach. And not just the skin. You want to get down into the muscles. So that's where like the massage comes in. You're going to be doing some squeezing. You're going to be doing some pressing and poking, some pinching, but just touching the full surface area of your body and the layers underneath in a slow fashion again, so you can feel and notice all the sensations that are happening in your body. This isn't just one of those, oh, I did the checklist, I touched all the parts. This is about you attuning. It's a body attuning practice. How present can you get with that? How present can you stay with that? Staying with your breath and the stimulus that's happening in your body. And start by touching your hands and a hand washing motion, and then just go from there up your arms to your shoulders and all over the rest of your body. And as you're doing that, I'm going to ask you a couple more questions. And all you're doing is just being available for whatever shows up in you. Pausing breath, full body touch. Here come your questions. How can you do less of those have tos while at home or at work? How can you do less of those have tos? All of those have tos that you were excited about getting away from, all of those have tos that you were relieved to get away from on your vacation. Now that you are at home, or when you get back home, how can you do less of those things? And you're going to have a little bit of an arguer in there where I can't do that. That's not possible. That's not going to happen. This isn't about that. This isn't about that arguer. This is just about, can you explore? Can you even creatively explore, get curious about how you can do less of those have to things? Because a lot of us have been taught that have tos need to be complicated and fully formed and overshoot our capacity a lot. And when we really look at them, we can be a whole lot more efficient with our have tos. So, how can you do less of those have tos while you're still at home or at work? Pausing breath, still full body touch. Maybe your body is asking for touch at a certain place because it's letting you know, when I do this thing over and over again, this part doesn't feel quite right. And then your next question, your final question, how can you do more of those get tos while you're still at home or at work? There's those things you get to explore, things, people, skills, locations. There's things that you get to be happy, curious, creative, pensive, that you normally don't get to at home or at work. How can you do more of that? How can you do less have tos, and how can you do more get tos while you're at home or at work? And as those responses are showing up in you, breathing those in for your spring, holding for that summer, breathing it out in that fall, and then holding for that winter. I'm going to have you bring your touch into your belly, squeezing, pressing. How can you do less get tos or have tos? I'm sorry. How can you do less have tos and more get tos while at home or at work? I bring us to our bellies, that visceral center, because it's a whole lot of information about that in there. And depending on what our relationship is to our gut, we might hear a whole lot. We might hear a peep. We might not hear anything, but we're just going to be there for a moment. Right. In your last couple of cycles of that breath, being very intentional about breathing in and pausing, breathing out and pausing, and being with all the sensations in your body. You stretched it, and now you've touched it, and now it has a lot more space for things to happen, sensations to happen. You're more attuned now. And on your last out breath, another good shake to your body, starting with your spine and going all the way out to your fingertips and toe tips and head top. and back to your regular breath. Anything show up for you in that, Denard?
No, man, I'm still processing this. This is a very interesting question. When you said, I said to myself, so this is so easy. And then I started. It seriously, man. What I will say, it feels necessary to find the answer to that in this season for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. As I stretched out, as I breathe in, it definitely feels like that's an answer that I've been searching for. But whatever it is right now for me, I will say it is the have tos. I will say this to you, have been accompanied with unrealistic expectations of myself.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's robbed the get tos. But I still know the get tos are more things I would want to do. The one thing that did come up as I'm even talking now is I want to be able to skate in the rain, and I want to be able to take a shower under the gutter.
Mm.
And then lastly, I want to be able to walk barefoot outside and just without concern of who, when, what dirt I'm bringing back into the house.
Mm-hmm.
And it just always reminds me what I get to do is tap back into my childhood. And the last thing that comes up as I'm talking to you is I want to look at the sediments of a rock and to see what exists. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. Ooh. And I feel like that is a thread that can probably weave through so many of our stories, just in terms of what we get to do on our adventures, is like
Mm.
tap into that childhood, that wonder, that creativity, that learning,
Yes.
that courage
Yeah.
too. Oh, I'm going to do this
Yeah.
thing that I don't know what the consequences are, but I'm gonna find out though.
That's good. Courage. That's good.
Thank you, Denard.
Likewise.
And so, for y'all over in the chat, I did put those questions. So those questions I broke up when we did the practicing, just because it just like in the moment, it just like hit me in that way where it's like, oh, let me go ahead and do it this way instead. But they're escaping your life questions and chasing yourself questions. And those, as you journal about those or audio journal about those, written or audio, you get to start to notice, just like what Denard was saying, was like these patterns. It's like what is it that I get to do out there? Oh, it's a childhood thing. Okay, how do I bring that and weave it back into this life that I have? Because this life that I have is something that I co-created with the society that was around me and the social connections that I made. And so I, as the artiste in that, get to shift some things. Can I bring back some of those treasures, like I was saying before, in that? All right. So before we get to Carly as our share, I'm going to also put over in the chat this particular diamond session is also an inner circle. So it's a video group. It's going to start this coming Saturday, and I just put over in the chat where you can find some information about that. So it's a 4-week practice series, weekly on Saturdays. Going to happen all the Saturdays in July, and you can see all that information. There's a link down there if you want to go more. What we'll be doing in there is they will have opportunity to be able to share what our experience is. We'll be doing practicing during the week. We'll do practicing in the actual session, and then you just get to talk about like what's showing up for you in that. Because we're taking to take that month, and I encourage all of y'all that aren't going to be in that to also take this month to really get back and reacquainted with your body, because the summer is going to kick off and it's going to get really hot really fast. And I'm not just talking about temperature. And so staying with yourself is going to be very important, not just in your having fun vacations, but also in the life you have that starts to rumble underneath your feet. How do you stay with yourself in this? All right. What you got for me, Carly?
It reminds me of after I got back from my Europe trip, what was it, like a year and a half ago or whatever, and talking about how I love wandering and just exploring and go to new places and not
Mm-hmm.
really have an agenda. And you were encouraging me to find a way to incorporate that in, back home. And so I think about that every so often where, when I was looking at rental properties for a while, it's like, okay, this could be a wandering adventure. I'll check out a new neighborhood. I'll walk because I always found something that was like within walking distance. And
Mm-hmm.
so it was really cool to see like different aspects. I'm not searching now, but yeah, just and during this time of season for I don't know why, but it feels like a blessing. Things are slow. I can pace myself with my work and I still get everything done. I don't feel as productive as I'd like, but I even got an email from my boss today saying that he loves my creativity and how I'm really detailed. And I'm thinking like if he saw what I did at home, like sometimes I'm elevating my feet to get blood flowing back to it for like 15, 20 minutes and just laying there. And so I'm realizing that I'm just very well, there's lots of trials and tribulations and difficulties at this time in my life. I'm also incredibly grateful for my work situation because it allows me to rest more. It
Yeah.
allows me to kind of pick and choose when I want to go for a walk and then wander around the neighborhoods. And I would do that kind of stuff, more rest, more wandering when I travel. And so I get to do it at home. And I'm just very, very grateful because I really, really need it with all my health issues and everything.
Right. Yeah, and thank you so much for sharing that too. That taking your vacation, wandering and bringing it and infusing it into your life. And the two, you're talking about the have tos. And a lot of us, especially during COVID, where it's like, okay, I'm not going to a location. I'm actually working from home. There's a whole lot of have tos that I don't have to do anymore, but I still employ them. Where it's like I have to be quote unquote professional, and professional means that I leave some of my humanity behind. And so when I'm at work, even at home, and I have people buzzing around me, I'm actually being less of who I am because this is the work time. I have to do that. But then we realized over the course of the summer, over the course of lockdowns, over the course of working from home, it's like I can unravel a bunch of that. I can be more me. I can bring more of my humanity to the work that I do. And then I might realize as I'm doing that, oh, my humanity doesn't work actually here. And might have to try something else. But it's being able to really critically look at those have tos, deconstruct those, and see how I can still maintain the things that those have tos allow me to maintain while not having to do so many of them because a lot of them are expired. A whole lot of them are inefficient. A whole lot of them are unhealthy to me. And so I deconstruct that and that makes space for me to bring my get tos into the equation. Thank you, Carly. All right, y'all. That's what I got. You got anything for us, Denard, as we wrap on up?
Hmm. I guess the question for me would be for you, the little Mike that was kicking and screaming, I don't want to do this. Where did he land today?
He's up and pacing. He's
Good.
up and pacing, having a good old time, and that's one of those things that is um, a blessing about the work
Yeah.
that I get to do
Yeah.
is how much of a mutual exchange that feels like. I'm able to serve and be served at the same time, whether it's through your
Yeah.
container or through, folks' stories and goodwill in the circles. There's just such a nourishing piece of it. And so I think probably you did a really good job in engaging that little one by giving me the ice cream question. So good on you for that shit. I see you,
Hey,
Denard.
hey. Yeah, I see you too, Mike, man. I love this summer staycation practice series, you all. And I don't know about you all. I think the reality is, as much as we probably tell ourselves that we're doing it, but if you heard what Carly shared, being less productive created space for her creativity
Hmm.
because she rested
Hmm.
with herself. And what her boss noticed was not what she's noticing. Uh-oh. Let's just leave y'all.
Hmm.
Childhood wonder, reconnecting with yourself wherever you stay. Mm. All right, you all. I won't have no last words. I want to definitely gift it back to Mike. Mike, when we in your space, um, some people try to confuse me for you because of your deep voice, but I'm like, I have the deep Barry White voice. He has like a deep strawberry chocolate, mint chocolate voice. So if we're leaving your space, what would you say to us as we go?
Remember your body. Just remember your body. I mean, it's not just a vehicle. And I won't even say it like that because I don't believe it to be a vehicle. It's so just it doesn't even fit there. It's not a vehicle. It's a
Mm,
partner. It's a partner. It's a part and partner
mm,
of who you are. So remember
mm.
it. Get into it.
That's good.
Feel it. Please. Please. And I'm saying this just as much to myself as I'm saying to all y'all.
Yeah,
Please. That we're gonna need these things. And
yeah,
they're the best partner that we have to navigate the summer that we're about to go into.
yeah. I appreciate you, man. I really do. I really do appreciate you. Thank you for holding this container in this space on this app. You all, I don't know if I'm gonna go skydiving, but I'm gonna figure out something. I'm gonna figure out something, brother. I'll probably start with a shower under the gutter. I'll start there. I'll start there, man. Definitely appreciate that reminder, man. And until next time, you all, I just hope that you all can remember what Mike said. Just partner with your body because it's already partnering with you.
Hmm. Yeah.
Blessings, you all. Peace.
Take care of yourselves.